Wonderful. Today, the title of this call is It's Time. The biggest reason people use for lack of results is time. I don't have the time to do that process, or whatever the excuse is of the day. I don't have time. Hey, I'm not saying that I don't have situations in my life that I look at and don't have the time. But here's some things about time that I think every one of us need to look at today. First of all, time can't be stored. It's used or gone forever. So today, let's take some time to check your use of it. I have an exercise I do with managers, and I ask them to list 5 things you spend a lot of time on, and they can do that very quickly. 5 things. They can list those 5 things very easily. And I challenge them with the question, after they list these 5 things, I challenge them with a question. Which one of these 5 things do you absolutely need to do personally? And when I get that kind of a jaw drop in about 2 inches, and then they start looking at these items on the sheet that they just wrote, you have to be honest about that. If you don't need to do it personally and you're a member of management, why are you taking your time up to accomplish that? So we go down this list of 5 things, and I can tell you the outcome of it is almost universal. 4 of the 5 things, or 5 of the 5 things, literally, the vast majority of everything they write on that piece of paper, when they think about it, they don't have to do that personally. And why are we using our time there? If we ask, who are you going to assign to do item number 1? That's easy to figure out. Item number 2, who are you going to assign? Literally freed up a ton of time in every case when these individual managers started looking at their time like that. Regardless of your position in the dealership, if you took 5 things on your list, what do you spend time in? And ask yourself, what's critical that I do that personally? It might shock you that you have items on your list you don't spend time on. When we do have things that require our time, a lot of these go unmanaged or unsuggested. For instance, let's place a larger focus on what we need to spend time on. If we identified the same things, if I asked you the same challenging question, what do you need to spend time on? And we looked at that list. If you said, okay, now I have a little time, what do I need to spend my time on? Well, it might be a project, a goal. Right this time of year, you probably have managers asking, well, what are you going to do for 2015? What's your growth pattern going to be like? What's your profits going to be like? You may need to spend time on goals, projects, or processes. But if you look at them and ask, what changes need to be made? It's going to be on that list. This is what you need to spend time on. A list of things you're going to do to improve. Interestingly enough, if we were to compare the 2 lists, what you're spending your time on and what you should be spending your time on, amazing fact, they're different items. The reality of how well you're going to do in any given fiscal year or any given month or any given week or any given day is how well you're in control of your time. Today's challenging thoughts need to be placed into a perspective that you first of all want to improve. You want to do your best. You want to see the best, biggest result possible. And you're thinking in this without limits. Then you have to manage your time in such a manner that your total focus and your total energy and your time is spent on what's important now. What are you going to do to make a difference? How are you going to impact in your management style and changes the dealership operation, your personal life, your standards? You see, it could be that you're one of these people that feel, I have to do 60, 70-hour weeks That's just my lot in life. It takes me that much time to get everything done. But when you look at this list, you'll find out, say, man, I could assign that task, I could assign this task, I could assign that, and now I'm down 15, 20 hours a week in what I'm spending at the dealership to accomplish what I perceive is my job. Now, many of you might hear this and say, well, I can't assign tasks. They've got their own time problems and their own time constraints. How can I throw more tasks on them? And you'll come to find out it's a similar situation as your list. What are they spending time on? What changes do they need to make? Are they focusing on processes, goals, and projects? If you're going to look at your time available and the time where you're spending it, list the items, write them down, look at what you're doing that takes up your time, where you should be spending your time, and then make that change. Here's a reality check. Spend the time on those things that'll make a difference. The team that uses time the best will always get the best result. Always get the best result. Many times you've heard me talk about technician time, and that if it's wasted, there's revenue loss in every shop across America. There's revenue loss because of technician productivity and efficiency problems. I don't know of any shop that's obtained perfection and everything's to the point where they have no way they can improve efficiency or proficiency. Good thing to spend time on. I'm going to close with one simple phrase. It's time to use yours better. Thank you for your time, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye for now.